What's going on, everyone? It's Weather United here. In this afternoon update, we are going to be taking a detailed look at the latest on Tropical Storm Fiona. If you like detailed weather updates, smash the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my updates. Taking a detailed look at Tropical Storm Fiona this afternoon as of about 3 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. This would be about 6 and 7 o'clock Eastern Time as well as Bermuda Time. We can see that the system is still very well lopsided due to the deep layer shear of 20 to 30 knots that remains over the system, but at the same time, Fiona is dealing with a very tight gradient of very strong deep layer shear to the north to very little to no shear to the south. A closer zoomed in view clearly shows where that shear clearly is. Take note of these low level cloud filaments moving in out of the easterly direction, but look at the upper level cloud filaments moving in out of the southwesterly direction. This indicates that Fiona is experiencing still some westerly shear over the system. However, to the south, where we do not have any shear because we have flow doing this, is an indication that the shear really drops off in a hurry the further south you go throughout the storm. But still in all, the system is very lopsided with a lot of the deep convection and strongest winds on the eastern side of the circulation. It's also noted that the center of Fiona is ready to cross right over Guadeloupe, the butterfly island I call it, which is right here, so getting very close with that circulation with the lightest winds moving over that island in itself, bringing some gusty winds, some enhanced rainfall and thunderstorms surrounding the island. The latest Air Force 302 mission that did fly through Fiona this afternoon did find that there is still tropical storm force winds on the northeastern side of the circulation here, all in yellow, orange, and red, indicating that winds are more than 45 to 50 knots. That is about 50 to 60 miles an hour, with very little to no winds on the southwestern side of the circulation, which indicates that the low-level center is getting less defined, but it is trying to get better organized. But we need that deep convection to wrap all the way around the circulation for this to get better organized in the first place. So what's the National Hurricane Center saying about Tropical Storm Fiona? Well, not much difference from this morning's video that I did on Weather United, with maximum winds that are at 50 miles an hour, moving slightly north of due west at 15 miles an hour, and still the pressure is right around 1,003 to 1,004 millibars. It is expected to bring tropical storm force winds to Puerto Rico and the rest of the U.S. and British Virgin Islands throughout tomorrow into Sunday early morning, and then moving into the Dominican Republic by Monday morning into Monday afternoon, and then back over the Atlantic Ocean near the Turks and Caicos Islands by Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday afternoon as well. Tropical storm force wind probabilities have increased since this morning, with Puerto Rico now expecting to see a 60 to 70% chance of tropical storm force winds, with Eastern Dominican Republic and the Haitian Peninsula with a 30 to 60% chance of tropical storm force winds. The Turks and Caicos Islands have about a 40 to 60% chance of tropical storm force winds within the next 5 days, with of course a 80 to 100% chance of tropical storm force winds on Guadeloupe and some of the Leeward Islands to the north. Latest key messages on Advisory 10 on Tropical Storm Fiona as follows. Tropical storm conditions are beginning to spread across the Leeward Islands and will continue through Saturday morning. Tropical storm conditions will spread westward across the U.S. and British Virgin Islands on Saturday, and Puerto Rico late Saturday and Saturday night. Tropical storm conditions are possible over Dominica tonight and within the watch area in the Dominican Republic on Sunday. Heavy rains from Fiona will reach the Leeward Islands by this evening, spreading to the British and U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico on Saturday, reaching the Dominican Republic on Sunday, and Haiti and the Turks and Caicos Islands on Monday. This includes the Haitian Peninsula through Tuesday. This rainfall may produce considerable flood impacts, including flash flooding and urban flooding, along with mudslides in areas of higher terrain. Fiona is expected to strengthen gradually over the northeastern Caribbean Sea, and it could be near hurricane strength as it approaches the southern and eastern coast of the Dominican Republic Sunday afternoon. Warnings could be issued for these areas of the Dominican Republic tonight or on Saturday. Fiona is expected to strengthen after moving across Hispaniola early next week, and interest in the Turks and Caicos and even the Bahamas need to monitor the progress of this system. The arrival of tropical storm force winds has not changed from this morning, with it being 8 p.m. or in the next few hours over the Leeward Islands, and then as early as Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon over Puerto Rico, and then by Sunday morning over the Dominican Republic and the Turks and Caicos Islands by 8 p.m. on Sunday, and possibly the Bahamas as early as Tuesday morning. So the question is, could Tropical Storm Fiona become our next hurricane? Well, yes and no, depending on how you extrapolate the data. In my opinion, I don't think Fiona will become a hurricane yet in the next 5 days, even so the NHC does explicitly show 80-mile-an-hour winds by day 5. My intensity forecast is a little lower than the National Hurricane Center's, and I do forecast winds that could become about 70 to 75 miles an hour by day 5 and 5.5. This is below the outline HWFI model, which is the HWRF, and some of the other statistical intensity prediction models that are above my forecast. The latest track spaghetti plot on Fiona is pretty much straightforward over the next 24 hours, likely moving just to the south of Puerto Rico, but some of the model ensembles do indicate that it could still clip the southwestern side of Puerto Rico and may make landfall there by the Saturday and Sunday time frame, and then Hispaniola in the next couple of days, and then big model spread is still seen here by day 4 and day 5, as strengthening of Fiona will be critical. If it's stronger early on, it could gain latitude faster, and it could end up doing this, versus if it's weaker longer, maybe it moves kind of this way and hits more of the Turks and Caicos and the Bahama Islands over the next 5 days. So again, big spread here, more than about 200 miles from the leftmost outline models versus the rightmost outline models. Now, taking a look at the latest 12Z GFS model run for this tropical storm Fiona that we're watching very closely, we can see where it is just to the north and over Guadeloupe and some of the British and Virgin Islands by tonight. And then it's going to be approaching, as you can see here, over Puerto Rico in the next 45 or so hours. So by early Sunday morning, we could be looking at a system bringing lots of heavy rain, strong winds to the island, and then moving over Hispaniola as early as Sunday night into early Monday morning. And then as we go into day 5, the system could be clipping some of the Turks and Caicos Islands on the GFS, but it is not explicitly showing that at this time, but it is showing a fairly strong enough system that winds could be the primary impact instead of a lot of the rain, since it's going to be shunted off to the northeast due to shear, and by Wednesday morning, it is moving out over the open Atlantic Basin. So rainfall totals are as follows: anywhere between 3 to 6 inches of rainfall over some of the U.S. and British Virgin Islands, with anywhere between maybe 8 to 12 inches of rainfall over Puerto Rico, as well as portions of Hispaniola, with very little rain that is anticipated according to the latest GFS model. But when we look at the European model, it shows a different story. Let's take a look at this, because this is further west, all right? So first of all, this is 18 hours out by tonight, and we can see with what the European model is showing over the next 42 hours. So by Saturday night into early Sunday morning, it clips again southwestern Puerto Rico as a tropical storm, moves into Hispaniola as early as Monday morning, and then moves out over away from Hispaniola in the next 5 days. And again, it could still become a tropical storm, or well, it's a tropical storm already, but it might intensify or strengthen into a high-end tropical storm by day 5 into possibly a low-end hurricane. That is 75 miles an hour at the very most with my intensity forecast. Now, take a look at the GFS model. As you can see here, this is, again, one of our outliers when we look at how strong these winds could actually end up getting. And we can see over Hispaniola in 63 hours, so that's by tomorrow night, of course. And when we forward this carefully through the next 100 to maybe 120 hours, we can see that the GFS goes crazy and it intensifies it fairly quickly into a Category 2 hurricane by day 5 on Wednesday, September 21st. If you found this weather information very helpful, make sure you smash the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future updates. But anyways, I will see you in the next one. Peace!